Yeah, it's always been.
I'm not able to hear. Hi, I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm not hearing anything from the meeting room.
We can hear you, John.
Oh, there you go. Thank you.
Can you hear now, John?
Yes, thank you.
Can you hear?
Can't hear him.
Yes.
Okay, good.
This is permit number 25-501 Firehouse Apartments Limited Partnership, Firehouse Drive, parcel number 225-037-01. It's requesting site plan approval amendment to the approved plans for permit number 21-303. Subject to Bristol Unified Development Regulations, section 390. So who's here for the applicant?
That's me. Should I?
Yeah, come on up. Tell us who you are.
I'm sorry, did we do section 2 where it calls for an opportunity to add something to the agenda?
We did. And we changed the order. You raise your right hand. Well, identify yourself, please, and
My name is Alik Somera. I'm with Addison Housing Works representing Firehouse Apartments Limited Partnership.
your Addison Housing Works.
I would like to add something to the agenda.
We'll do it after this.
Okay, as long as I haven't lost the opportunity to suggest it.
Fine.
Thank you.
Tell me your Addison Housing Works.
Addison Housing Works. We're one of the partners.
And give me your name again. I've already-
Alix, ALIX. Omera, OMEARA.
Okay, so can you raise your right hand, please, and do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth before this zoning board of, development review board on application permit number 25-501?
I do.
Thank you. Tell us what's on your plate.
So we are looking for approval to add a small dual port charging station to the parking lot. I guess it's the southeasterly parking lot, the one closer to the bus station. So it would be located in the parking lot and it would be for our
Pull
residents.
some plans up there.
Yes, but right underneath it.
Yeah, I know, but we need to pull them up.
And so we had inquiry from a tenant about a charging station,
Yeah.
and there's not a public charging station to our knowledge in Bristol, and the exterior of the building doesn't have capabilities for that type of thing.
Yeah, so can you zero in on where it's gonna be there? Oh,
I'm just gonna share for
okay.
on Zoom. And so I can,
So it's that yellow highlighted. There's a little green dot. It's sort of behind the transformer, and we have, when the property was developed, there was conduit dropped outside for future charging station.
He's in there.
the scan gets busy.
So it's, it
Yeah.
would be right, like, between these parking spaces.
That's the old site plan.
No, this is. Okay, I see it. You want
So
to
charge point,
oriented here, so there's the West Street open. All right, so it's way down in the southern end.
yes.
Okay,
And so it would just have the ability to charge two. It would look, I think it should be in your packet, but here, is
Yeah.
what the machine actually
Oh,
looks
it's charge, it's
like.
gonna be charge point.
Mhm.
Is it going to have any lighting on it? How are you
There
gonna,
is lighting in the parking lot, and that parking lot is also cameraed for security. Well, both parking lots are for security reasons, so.
so there's a light out there, so somebody's gonna see it, and not run into it?
Yes, and it's it will be like on the curb. It won't be in the actual parking
Okay.
spaces. So you would pull your car into the parking space, kind of like a gas tank, and then bring the,
Okay.
I'm not sure what it's called, the charging apparatus
Charging
here.
cable.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you.
So it's got two
Two,
connectors.
yes, so it'd be
connectors. You
sort
can
of
charge
on
two
the
cars
line
at once.
between two parking
Yep.
spaces, so those two spaces.
Yep.
Could access it.
And I have a development permit application for the use of the accessory EV. Waiting in my office for the site plan approval.
I don't follow. What is it?
The accessory use application for the charger is in the zoning office,
Okay,
administrative permit.
you think you need an accessory use permit for a charger?
For this
It
one of
does-
a,
it doesn't hurt. I know it doesn't hurt, but
I mean,
I mean, that's not I wouldn't see that as a different use, but it doesn't hurt to have it.
yeah, and it's accessory use to that building. We could get into this for a while,
No,
Kevin.
no, I don't want to. I'm just surprised, but I'm sure you worked it through.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if the regulations even talk specifically to chargers yet, or
Mhm.
I figured we hadn't
That's
even
why we're.
talked about that in the
Mhm.
planning commission yet, so.
Yeah. Any other questions for Alex?
Sounds like a good idea to
Yep.
me.
How do they pay for it? Is it a coin operated or?
So at this point initially, and we have
You're
this,
so old fashioned.
we have a,
Oh, I'm just asking.
this is
I
the
know.
second charger station we will have installed. We have one at a property in Virgin. So initially we will be offering it like a utility. It will be included and they will not have to pay for it.
Oh.
If suddenly 10 residents have EV chargers and that becomes expensive, then there is a system built into the EV charger that will allow us to charge, but it would be like a credit card,
Yeah.
a credit card situation.
So until everybody off the street starts finding
Right,
it.
well, as I said, it's camera, so.
Turn off the public
Yeah,
access.
yeah. It is camera, but yes, so the initial plan is to offer it, free of charge and see.
So you get an app on your phone.
No, what phone? My landline does not have a picture on it.
And then so you can, you can have an account.
Yes, we will have to count set up with ChargePoint.
Yep.
Yeah, do you have any idea how much this could cost over the course of a month?
In terms of utilities for us,
Yes,
I don't
yes.
offhand, I should have brought that information, but I don't have it. Our property management division does know because they
Mhm.
use it in Virgins,
I
so
see.
I think there is only one tenant there as an EV, so
Yeah,
far it
we
has
wouldn't-
not been,
We wouldn't have any.
it hasn't risen to the occasion that we've stepped in and said, oh, we need to start charging now, but
Yep.
so that's why we,
No, we haven't, that wouldn't be within our purview, whether it's a good or bad financial decision for you.
Right,
You know,
right.
so, so you've got one tenant now, that makes,
that,
Yeah,
yes,
makes
that has
sense.
inquired about it.
yeah, I know, that's what I have at my house and, I don't know if GMP still does it. I have ChargePoint, but GMP gives you a break. Gives you a reduced rate for charging
Mhm.
below what it charges you for your regular
Mhm.
utility, electricity for the house. I don't know if that'll be the same for you. I hope so.
I know for us, it was only if we got their charger
Yeah.
at our house, like we had to let
No.
GMP send us a charger, cause then they
Yeah.
have more control over it, and then they
Right.
were willing to do the
Right,
cheaper
but
rate.
that was true when I got mine, but they sent me a ChargePoint charger.
Oh, yeah, I guess I don't know the brand of ours.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, so,
But it's a
Sure.
different setup than
Yeah.
what you got. Yours is
Mhm.
Yeah,
the more
the-
commercial version,
Right.
but
Mhm.
Cool.
yeah. So it sounds like you're not looking for this to be publicly accessible.
No, it is just for our residents.
Okay.
If they have, you know, a guest for the weekend or something who needs to use it, that's acceptable, but
I just hope it doesn't get added to any of the apps that people use to track these. Cause
Yeah.
that
Yeah, I
would
don't
make
know
it
how you
hard for you
control
guys.
that. Is there a charger at the the factory? What's the name of the?
Oh,
All Earth Renewables.
Yeah, they have chargers? I bet they do.
I don't know if they
Yeah.
do, it's probably
maybe-
private
maybe
to
put them go
their. My guess is it's private to
Yeah.
their staff, but I'm not sure.
Okay, so, any other questions? Anybody in the public have a question? No? I'll move that we approve the amendment to the site plan to add the, EV, two-port EV charger, or dual-port EV charger at the location identified on C-1.2.
Seconded.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So 5-0. We'll get a written decision out in short order, but
Super,
you're good to go.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
I'll follow up tomorrow.
Great, thank you. Have a good night.
Hopefully in short order. I need the minutes, but. So
Applicants here.
applicants here, okay. Permit number 25-401. Randy Carpenter of Ireland Road. Parcel number 040104-3, requesting final plat approval for a 2-lot subdivision subject to Bristol Unified Development Regulations, Article 9, Section 930.
That one goes up.
Mr. Carpenter, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, I was
Alright.
there were some technical difficulties with the Zoom connection.
Well, hopefully they're done.
Yes.
Okay, so need you to we just had the preliminary, we just had the sketch plan before, right?
On third.
Yeah, so this is a 2-lot subdivision, you. I can't see you, but I need you to raise your right hand.
I'm here. Yep.
Okay, do you solemnly swear the evidence you shall give before this development review board regarding the application for a 2-lot subdivision will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. So can you summarize, please, your proposal here?
Okay, so just like you said, 2-lot subdivision, splitting the property in two to create a building lot to build a new home on.
Which would be, and that's parcel 2B,
Is it labeled 2B?
yeah?
Okay, so
Well-
yeah, 2B.
It's the one that doesn't have a house on it.
Exactly.
To be or not to be.
Mhm.
Okay,
And since the last meeting, I added to the plat, the diagram that I sent in, which shows where the septic field will go. It shows where the proposed building envelope is. The house that's on that plan isn't to scale. That's just there to show you approximately where the house would go within the building envelope, although the purpose of the building envelope is to be able to adjust where the house goes, meeting setbacks as needed. Added the well. The well should be on the plan, showing you where the proposed drill location would be. And the other thing that I was asked to do was to speak with the fire chief to make sure that it will have fire access per the state of Vermont Fire Safety Division.
yeah, do you have material from the fire chief?
Yes, I have a letter that I submitted to AZ from the fire chief.
Okay,
And
Alright.
that in that letter, it details what I need to do to comply with the state regulations.
all
So
right, so let's get the letter up. There it is. All right. So he's giving you standards on turning radius.
Mhm. Yeah, there's standards on turning radius, dimensions, width, also clear obstruction. So besides the width of the driveway, it has to be clear 20 feet wide for from trees and branches. It also dictates the pitch so that it's not too steep. And if I can't accomplish all that, then as long as I can get the fire truck within 400 feet of the home, I have to put a sprinkler system in. I will also have to do turn as per the letter. And that just allows, if a fire
Yeah.
truck had to go up the road, it allows a spot for another vehicle to pull off to the side to allow the truck to go past.
So do you have a location for the turnaround?
For the
I see.
turnaround,
Well, I see dead end roads and turnarounds. There's 3 different options on the letter. And I'm looking at
yeah,
your plan.
you mean for the very end of the driveway.
Well, that's what it says existing turnaround. Is that what you plan to use?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a turnaround pretty much right near the end of the driveway.
Yeah, and do you know which of the designs approved by Chief LaRose you're planning to use?
I could use either one of the 3. Yeah, it's all optional. It's not specified that I have to use one or the other. Those are my options. But
My question was, have you chosen one?
well, I was gonna do the T version.
Okay. Do you have do you think you have an issue with slope or steepness?
Not at the end of the driveway, but there are sections along the way that I have to continue to work on to get the pitch that's necessary. So yeah, it's a little bit steep, especially in one section.
So okay. So how do you propose to fix that problem of steepness?
I'm gonna take the pitch down and um yeah, pretty simple. I guess
Or
simple to me because it's what I do, but I'm gonna take the pitch down by removing material and basically just take the hump out of the steep section and make it more gradual for a longer span. I guess if
okay,
you saw the road, it would make more sense.
say that again.
If you actually saw the road, how it looks right now, it would make more sense.
Well, I've got a contour map in front of me, so I can see where the steep sections are.
Mhm. So, and in that letter, he's given me guidelines on, and it's per the state requirements on what the allowable pitch is. So I don't see any issues with meeting that requirement. It's just a matter of doing the work.
And in the end, who will determine that?
The fire chief,
Okay,
Brett LaRose. I mean,
okay.
I can take measurements to make sure that it is, and I will likely do that. But he'll come up and pay another site visit. He's already been up there and he's made 1 or 2 site visits. So he's very familiar with it. And is he at the meeting? He said he was going to make it, but I'm not sure if he's there.
There's fire training tonight, I believe.
No, no, he's not here. Apparently there's fire training, but we have his letter.
Okay.
So what are you gonna do with the material that you removed to get rid of the steepness?
I'm gonna fill in some of the low sections to raise them up. So a combination of raising lower sections and taking out higher sections, which is what I've been doing all along, will accomplish that.
And you know you have to have a 50-foot wide easement, or 50-foot wide easement, going over parcel 2A, which is where the existing house is.
Yep.
And that's gotta be in the deed to lot 2B. What's are we RA5?
I will make sure to do that.
So you haven't applied for wastewater and put up a water supply yet, right?
Nope, because just waiting on the zoning approval. It's ready to go. The final design is now done and ready to be submitted to the state for approval.
And who's handling that for you?
Low Rose,
Okay,
Low Rose Surveys.
yeah. Any other questions from the board?
No.
You folks have something to
Yeah,
say?
you-
Okay, you're Keith.
Yes,
What's your last name again?
Addis.
Addis. Okay, Mr. Addis, tell us, what do you wanna tell us?
I had some questions on, for one thing, how much more of the bank is he gonna dig out and haul off? That he's been digging? And what's he planning on doing with all the stumps he's gonna dig out? Is he just gonna roll them down over the bank by the brook like he has been all the stones he's been digging out of there and separating from the gravel?
Where's the brook in relation to the road?
Kind of comes down, it follows right along the edge of the,
It follows-
of Meehan Road,
Okay, I know,
mostly.
I know that brook. I didn't know if there was another one. Okay.
And he's been rolling rocks down over the bank.
Yep.
Cause all this section, well, if you had the elevation, if it's current, it's, which I don't know how to read. But that used to just come out of through and go right straight across. And there was an old road, farm road that the guy hauled firewood out of there. And he dug a road up and then he's dug a deep, deep trench and he's trenched it to go around where he's putting his house. Or where he intends to put his house. You can see the rocks that he's rolled down over the bank from Meehan Road, if you drive up and look up the bank
Right.
across the road.
I've seen them. So, what's the answer to Mr. Addis's questions, Mr. Carpenter?
Well, first of all, there isn't anything that's in the brook.
I didn't say it was in the brook. I
No,
said no.
I have,
I'm finished.
I
ahead.
haven't put anything in the brook. Any of the rocks that I have put along the side of the driveway were absolutely necessary to reinforce it from stormwater erosion. That's why my road didn't wash out when we had the hurricane last summer, because I've been building it up. What are the other questions? Everything that I've done thus far has been absolutely necessary to change the pitch to create
Well,
this building lot. And
You,
that's why I've been taking the side of the bank down and to get the pitch that you need to get up there. And
well,
did
you've
you want-
you've been extracting gravel for about 20 years, I think, right?
I've been shifting material around, but
You're taking material off site.
not a lot.
Well, you have an excavating business, right?
Yes,
Okay, so, and you've got a stone crusher or a screener on site?
I don't have a stone crusher. I have a rudimentary homemade screen that I have used to take the rock to make the rocks that I need to shore up the road and you know, protect it from stormwater. I mean,
You have a stormwater permit?
no, why would I need a stormwater permit?
Well, you might, depending on all the work that you've done on this site. You didn't have a town permit, you don't have an Act 250 permit. You've done a lot of site development, so it's a fair question whether or not you have a stormwater permit from the state of Vermont.
I don't. I don't have a stormwater permit. I've just been doing things the safest way that I know how to not have any erosion, and thus far there hasn't been any erosion, and you know, I'm just trying to create a space to live. I've been doing this a long time because I planned this a long time ago. I actually planned this more than 20 years ago, so I've been working on this ever since I owned the property, really. I mean, not the first year, but um, the intent was always to have another building lot for a future home, and so that's what I've been working on.
Well, you've dropped the. Was there sort of a mound or hill before that has now been leveled?
I mean, what do you consider a hill? I do jobs like this for customers. Um, I guess define the height of a hill. I mean, sure, I've been leveling the site, but this is what you have to do to have a usable site.
Any other questions?
Yeah, you didn't answer one question, but I
About
have
the
one
stumps?
question.
Well, the stumps, what are you doing with the stumps?
I'm gonna leave them on site and let them decompose.
Okay,
And approximately how deep would you say that hole is where you use your bucket loader to load your gravel trucks that you're not hauling off site with? I mean, that old road that went out through there, when the guy down the road owned it, went out there with his tractor. I would guess it's probably at least 20 to 25 feet deep from what it used to be. You cannot see your bucket loader from the top level without walking up and looking down over the bank you got there. Am I wrong?
Is Mr. Addis's estimate correct of the depth?
I don't think so. That doesn't sound realistic. I mean, I'm not there to take measurements, but you would have to measure straight down and not at an angle to get an accurate depth. I mean, if you're looking down the hill, it's deceiving. But I would say that's not accurate. Pretty confident in that.
Is this the home of a commercial excavation business? I'm sorry, I'm a little behind if I haven't picked up on that so far, but is that the activity on the overall lot right now?
Yes, from what we've been told, right? Correct, Mr. Carpenter?
I have an excavation business, but my business is not in gravel. This has been something that I've been working on mostly on the side for many years. That's why it's taken so long. Like I'm not in business to do anything with gravel. I'm in business to work for customers on their properties, you know, building getting foundations ready, pump, you know, everything that other excavating contractors do.
Do you stockpile on this site, bringing stuff in from jobs and then at the end of the job, you know, backhauling it or
Not on this site. I have a small, when I say small, really small topsoil pile, but that's the only thing that I have salvaged from jobs. But I mean, you're talking just a few dump truck loads.
well, any is any. Some, any, none is, you know, I'm just asking a question. So is the answer yes, you do stockpile things from jobs outside, you bring it to your property and then stockpile it until you need it on either that job or another job in the future?
Not on this site, no, not on the site that I'm trying to build on.
What about on the larger property overall?
Well, yeah, I have some topsoil, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to go to anybody else.
Well, it's a very straightforward question. Do you haul stuff to your site from other jobs, stockpile it, and then use it either for that job or other jobs in the future?
I would say no, not really, no,
So that's not part of your business on this location.
no.
Can I bring something up that we
Sure.
brought up last time? The first time we discussed this, there was some discussion about what the property has been or will be used for. And I thought we had decided that that was not appropriate to what we are deciding now, which is dividing this into 2 lots. That it was a separate thing that might go
Well-
to the zoning instructor, and I don't know if that's in the minutes.
Yeah, well, partly there was an issue that AZ was going to investigate with respect to the lack of a extraction permit in the zone, and it's been going on for so long that it's grandfathered at this point. It's outside the 15-year statute of limitations.
Okay,
On the other hand,
so is it valid that we spend our time discussing it, or?
I was just about to answer
Oh,
that. So, we have conditioning authority with respect to this approval for what goes forward from here and in relation to this subdivision, so, that's something for the board to determine, but it's, a valid inquiry since we have, we have the ability to impose reasonable conditions in connection with any application going forward. So in the previous preliminary hearing or sketch plan, there was really a question about an enforcement of it. Is there an existing violation and can that be enforced? And the answer to that is, well, maybe, but no, it couldn't be because of age. But we have, the issue now before us is different. At least potentially so.
How? I mean, I'm just not understanding how.
We can condition the
Oh,
use of the
okay.
property going forward.
Okay, but what has happened before, we have no control. That has happened in the past,
Yes, what happened in the
So-
past has happened in the past.
and it's gone. Okay,
There's been no permit for so long.
Yep.
The zoning minister has determined that there could not be a notice of violation issued presently.
okay, so we're talking only about future, then we're not talking about
Yes.
what's happened in the past.
Yes,
Okay. So if people were to bring up what they hope doesn't happen in the future, or does happen in the future, would be more appropriate than discussing what happened in the past.
I guess.
I
I don't think it's hard.
think I understand what she's saying.
I don't,
Just try-
but, it's,
You know,
what's happened,
no,
the current condition is a result of past practices. What's gonna happen going forward? May or may not, in relation to those practices, extraction of gravel, moving site work, let's say, stockpiling or not. That's all at least potentially relevant going forward with respect to a permit condition or not. It depends on what the board thinks. Yeah, anything else, folks?
Yes, I have another question.
Okay, let me know.
He's had a surveyor up there,
Yeah,
and how come they don't have to notify the neighboring properties when they're surveying their line,
because surveyors don't have to.
even when they decide that they wanna move ribbons around and stuff?
yeah,
Anybody can, no, they don't need a neighbor's permission to do a survey of the property. Think about how that would work. So
Well,
they can
I'm
say,
just-
no,
I
you
mean,
can't survey,
they-
no, you can't survey. It's,
No, but I mean, they don't even notify you that they're gonna be there.
no,
they don't need to.
Okay,
my neighbor did,
do I have a right if I see him out there to ask him to leave my property? I'm just
You're-
asking, I mean,
Well,
technically,
you're way off topic now.
well, I
you're
mean,
way
I'm
off
just
topic
talking
now.
about the surveyor.
You're way off topic now.
Well, they
Which-
did resurvey, that's what I was
That-
getting at.
Sure, I get that, but which they're allowed to do. Whether or not you think they needed your permission is not.
No, I
in
didn't
front of
mean
us.
permission, I meant just at least notify you that they're gonna be there doing it.
The surveyors don't have to notify as a matter of laws. I
Okay.
understand it. Surveyors don't have to call up everybody whose property they might be walking along to say, to give them advance notice.
On the other hand, you may find that part of your property has been surveyed for free, so.
Well, surveys vary too, you know, they don't
Yeah.
always agree.
Yeah.
Anything else with respect to this proposal, this subdivision proposal, Mr. Addis, or Ms. Addis?
Is, well, this is another neighbor.
Oh, sorry. Who-
Is he
Do you
gonna
have
be,
any, well, do you have any questions, ma'am?
Well, I just didn't want him to,
Tell us who you
can
are.
I say it?
Yeah, no, tell us who you are.
I'm Mabel,
Mabel who?
Mabel Devino.
Okay,
I'm right down over the hill from him. And, I just don't want him to, put any gravel or nothing in there, cause my water is right down, right on his land. My water runs somewhere there, and then it comes right across the road to my house.
Above ground or underground?
What's that?
Is it underground or above? Is it-
Underground, yeah, in the swamp,
it's spring though, right?
yes,
The spring.
yeah, the spring,
Not a
I
drill-
just don't
not
want
a
him
drill
to
well.
make the spring go another way, so I can't get it.
So you're looking for the, swamp or whatever it is flowing through to be undisturbed?
She has a spring for her water for her
Yeah.
house there.
But she's
It's
looking,
along the
she's
edge.
looking for that area to remain on, you've got,
Oh, yeah.
So-
That area, cause is this down here where his house is? This where his house is down,
yeah.
that's
okay,
what,
my water is over here, right down over that little bank, right in there.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
No,
then-
that's the top end, Mabel.
Huh?
That's where he wants the new house. Where's it?
That's where, oh, that,
That's the new house, yeah.
This is, this is the existing house here.
oh, up here, okay,
Yeah,
so my one would be right down over the, like, over in the bank.
I think it'd be this side towards Meehan Road, isn't it?
No, no,
It's on the far
if
side.
that's this house, it goes right over here and down in here,
Okay, so
Okay.
it's,
Yeah.
it's south of the existing house.
right, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so it doesn't seem like there's.
I don't think he's gonna do anything
He's not proposing any changes with respect.
towards
to-
there, no.
You're not proposing any changes with respect to, parcel 2A, right, Mr. Carpenter?
Well, the only changes that are gonna happen to 2A is per the fire department requirements.
Sure.
It will
Oh, yeah,
have to,
yeah.
it will have to become wider.
Yeah,
But
Okay.
it's not gonna be anywhere near the spring. I mean,
Okay, good, no,
yeah, that
All right.
spring won't be touched. It's completely safe.
oh, good, 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 cause I was kinda worried about that,
well,
yeah.
that's understandable. Anything,
This is,
anything
so-
else, Ms. Devino?
you'd think that would be going up the road. The way it's rolled out here,
this is the
That's
road.
me and Roy.
yeah,
Meehan Road.
This is his.
his
drive-
house now,
The drive to the new house. The new house.
oh, okay, and then,
Yeah, the new house.
cause I haven't been
is
up,
Proposed here.
I gotta go up and see it. I mean, he won't care.
He's right
We've
here.
been neighbors a good many years.
is up there as
Well,
well.
he's right there.
Yep,
Oh, he's-
yep, he's right there.
Any other questions, Mabel?
No, no,
Okay.
I'm all set.
Mr. Addis?
Does that mean he's not gonna be able to draw any more gravel out of there?
Well,
Or is that still gonna be under the existing until it gets done?
He's gotta make another more road, don't he?
well, he's gotta do site
Well,
work,
site work,
site work
yes.
in relation to the road. So,
But does he get to draw the gravel out and haul it around in his dump truck up and down the road?
depends on what the board says.
Okay,
And it depends on the road, if he's hauling it from one end of that road that he's still.
He's talking about public roads.
public roads.
Any other questions?
I have a question, Mr. Chairman, just for some guidance. So when we're looking at a subdivision like this, is the use specified or is that immaterial? It's just like, it's just subdividing the property and whatever future use is to be TBD. like-
Sometimes, right, sometimes yes, sometimes no. Cause sometimes subdivision is integrated with other proposals. Like conditional use or site plan review, things like that. When it's not, you're really just talking about. Dividing property, lines on a map and, it doesn't say anything with respect to the future use. And whether the future use needs a permit, conditional use or, a permit by right, depends on the future.
Thank you. That answers
You
my
don't have
question.
to know, you can subdivide without knowing for sure, having it, or even disclosing what use you want to make. The act of subdivision doesn't create any entitlement to a particular use.
Great. That's the clarification I was looking for. Thank you.
Any other,
Another person. Okay.
he's usually on screen.
Yeah.
He wanted to see us
Oh,
live.
that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's why
yeah.
you look for me.
Are we as good looking in person as we are on the screen? That's true.
I guess I have if it's appropriate, a follow-up question again, just for some guidance to the chair. So if this goes through, it's a new lot, and then there are activities on it that say relate to a gravel business, whatever those might be in imagination. Is that part grandfather? Because this is a new lot all of a sudden. How does the law look at that?
Well, it's something we should probably discuss.
So if you had, and I'm not using this proposal, but if you had a use that wasn't permitted and somebody, let's say it was on a 100-acre parcel and somebody said, I'm gonna create 10-acre parcels out of this 100 acres, but I'm still gonna do the same activity, like, would that change anything about how zoning authorities would look at that? Does that sort of hit the reset clock or something? You know what I mean? I'm not sure I'm expressing.
Not with respect to enforcement. I mean, if the use is grandfathered by the passage of, if the use is illegal, non-permitted, and it's grandfathered by the passage of time, you're stuck with that. On the other hand, we have conditioning authority, which is futuristic.
And that comes into play, the conditioning authority would come into play when there's some proposal for a future use.
No, we can impose conditions on a subdivision, not with respect to future permissible uses, but we may have to, and I think once the questions are finished, I think it's probably appropriate to discuss this in executive session, deliberative session.
Thank you.
It's a bit of a, it's a conundrum, or at least it's an issue the likes of which we have not faced before. So, it might be good to kick it around. Any other questions?
I have a question for the board.
Yes, sir.
Thanks.
Go ahead.
If this material was clay, would that change things? Because if I'm trying to move material that's in my way that has no value to me to accomplish what I'm trying to do to build and make a road, would that make any difference? I mean, just because it's gravel, that's not my fault. And if I'm trying to move it around, let's say I run out of places to put it on my property, what would I then do? Do I need some sort of a permit to just get rid of it? And like if it was clay, it'd be the same thing. It's in the way and it needs to be relocated and it just needs to be moved. So that's
Depends
my
on
question.
the answer is we don't know. But there's, gravel can be used to build other people's driveways and things like that, and presumably that's what's happened in the past, hasn't it?
Well, I've used it on my own, but I mean, I don't even have,
That wasn't my question. You're very good at not answering the question. My question was, have you taken gravel from this site and used it on other jobs of yours on other sites? Yes or no?
I have gotten rid of some on other places, but you need
Okay,
you need
I'll take it as a yes.
yeah, but you don't understand. You need a screening plant to properly use the material, which I don't have.
I do understand. I also understand that you've been conducting extraction without a permit for 20 years. And it's a commercial, that's a commercial use, whether it's a lot or a little, it's commercial, and you didn't get a town permit and you didn't get an Act 250 permit. The question is, what do we do with that, if anything?
And I say, what if it was clay? You know, I just need to get rid of it.
Well, that's a hypothetical, what if it was clay, but we have a reality situation there that we can assess. So let's not spin out on the hypotheticals there.
Well, and as I said, Mr. Carpenter, we haven't, this is a rather unique situation, from historical perspective, that we haven't encountered before. So what if it was clay? I don't know. I don't know what the board thinks about this. We haven't decided. I've been part of the board for, I think this is either year 18 or 19. And I've never had this come up before in any meeting that I've been part of, so we're gonna figure it out. That's just the way it is.
Okay.
I do have another question for the applicant, if it's okay.
Go ahead, sure.
Is the road intended to serve the new lot, the house lot, I think you've called it? Is that used at all in the conduct of your business?
No. No, because I currently park all of my equipment at the bottom of the hill near my existing home. So it's not used for my business. The only time I've had equipment up there is to literally work on the road and open it up so that I can have access for a building lot. But it's not part of my business.
And would you say that more or less the grade that exists on this prospective new lot, is it more or less where you want it in terms of like ready to build on, or is there going to be a lot of work on the lot to, prepare it in any way?
Do you mean the building envelope, John? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, particularly in the building envelope, but I'm interested in the new lot, anywhere on the new lot, but yes, certainly in the building envelope.
Well, Mr. Carpenter testified previously that he has to take down the grade.
Yes,
Casey,
no,
can you
that,
pull up the
yeah.
contour map? Hold on a sec. See where the lines are very tight, there's steepness there. Where AZ's got her cursor, that's where. Is that where you have to reduce the grade, Mr. Carpenter?
I'm looking. Give me a second.
Yeah. Can you see what AZ has on the screen?
I see it.
I see the tight contours there. That indicates to me that's
Yeah.
the steep area you were talking about.
Yeah, I think you're in the right area. Yes.
Okay. That answer your question, John?
Not quite. So I understand the road needs some work and, getting it up to code or whatever. I'm really asking, besides the road work, in this subdivided lot, is there a whole lot more of grading and site prep that needs to be done before the lot is ready to build, or is it pretty much ready to build?
There's a lot more site prep to be done. Yes. Is there a lot more grading? No. It's primarily on the road.
And is the site prep, does any of that, like when you take materials from that site, you're doing site prep for a prospective building, do you incorporate those materials into your excavating business if you need material?
No. Anytime I do a job for someone, I will post a listing for free fill if I need to get rid of it. And always someone that has a hole somewhere that needs to be filled, and but I don't do that with tree stumps, only with good excavated fill, something that will compact.
All right, the question I asked though was, will you be taking material from this prospective new lot and incorporating that, in your business activities?
I shouldn't need to.
Well, will you or won't you, I think, is the question.
I mean, no, there's really no value there. And no, I don't plan to. No.
Thank you.
You take care of it. Mr. Addis had a question or comment? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'd like to ask him a question. So you're saying that,
You asked me first.
oh, okay, so it's free fill, supposedly, all in off-site to customers. Is there any charge anywhere for that? Or is it totally free?
That's a fair question. Go ahead, Mr. Carpenter.
I mean, it depends on the job I'm doing, where I'm working for someone, like your question's a little vague.
No, I didn't find it vague.
Are you gonna charge anything for the free fill, like
Well,
trucking
Well,
or
whether it's free or not.
excavation or whatever?
He
Are you
said-
charging for your equipment to move the fill off the property?
He said it depends. Well, that's good enough.
That is gravel.
Ed, Brenda?
He's thinking. He's thinking.
So can you give an answer to Mr. Carpenter's question? I'm sorry, Mr. Addis's question, please, Mr. Carpenter?
The question of whether I charge for fill?
No, that's not what he asked. Go ask it again, Mr. Addis.
The fill is free. Do you charge for trucking? Do you charge for loading your truck? You're running equipment. Equipment don't run for free. Or are you just being a good neighbor and spending your own money to truck this stuff off of your property and giving it to people for nothing?
The only thing that I charge my customers for is my time on whatever job that I'm working on. If they have fill that needs to be excavated and removed, they pay for the trucking and my time, but I never charge for materials from another person's property. I only charge for my time, and that's just the fair way to do it. That's what everybody does, I think.
That wasn't quite what I was getting at.
I thought that was a responsive answer.
It's a responsive answer.
It's come around, yeah.
Does anything else? I think we got the flavor of it. John, do you have anything else?
I don't know. I don't really have anything else except that I just have a little queasiness about what's
I
going
know.
on.
Well, if there aren't any other questions, I want to move for us to consider this in deliberative session. Second,
Second,
Ted seconds. All those in favor? Aye. Brenda?
I generally
I know you don't.
disapprove of deliberative sessions.
Yeah, I know, but there's a motion on the floor. You want a yes or no?
And so I vote no.
Okay, so 4-1, we'll go into deliberative session. All right, so whether or not we have a decision when we come out depends. I don't know how long it's gonna take. So you can choose to hang out or not. AZ can let you know what the decision is, both Mr. Carpenter and these folks, Addison and Mabel.
Mr. Quaglino, do you want to be on the board?
No, thank you. 20 years as a police advisor now.
Because I mean, I often see you watching, yeah. And
You guys going to deliberative session?
Yeah.
Executive, so none of us can be.
Yeah, but well, once, we're not in there yet, so, John, you had an agenda item to consider tonight, John?
Yeah, 1 second. I'm just changing locations. Yeah, I just had wanted to ask if we could go into deliberative session for a different purpose. So I don't know the best way to do that.
We can only do that if it's a matter actually pending before us.
I see. Thank you.
So we're gonna go into deliberative session now. And I don't know how long it's gonna be, but you can't be
Won't
here.
hang around.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
You
No,
know,
we,
so,
We can go, yeah.
yeah, and,
Yep.
we'll be
it-
notified.
yeah, AZ will let you know, and,
Yep.
and we'll get a decision out, a written decision subsequently, but I expect we'll have a vote after the deliberative session. And whatever that is, will be communicated.
Okay. And do we get notified of any further permits that he applies for?
Well, it depends, certain permits. If it's a permit by right, like I'm gonna build a house,
Yeah.
that's a permit by right in your zone and every zone. Permit by right, AZ issues a building permit, and it only comes before the zoning minister, it doesn't come to us,
No,
and they put the placard up.
That's
The
the
P.
Okay. Okay,
that's
Certain,
the notice.
Yeah.
certain things come to us first.
Yeah.
Conditional use, variances. Planned unit developments, things like this, the zoning administrator doesn't get to decide those, they get kicked right to us.
Yeah,
okay.
By law, and then we make the initial decision.
yes.
So.
So if we wanna-
For other things, if it's a building permit or something like that, some neighbor didn't like, if that was improper for some reason. They would appeal it within the time frame, and the appeal comes to us.
Yeah.
So sometimes we act first
Mhm.
and issue the permit if it's a particular kind.
Yeah.
And other times we are just the appellate body. And we decide whether AZ got it right or not.
You're right.
Okay?
But even if.
So the only thing is on the housing permit is if we see it posted out by the road.
That's right.
Okay, no, that was just my question.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. You gotta watch, you gotta look at the P and it's gotta be out near the road so you can see it and it's what, 15 days?
15 days. I also post on the town website, under the planning and zoning department, all of by right approved permits that I do. It has the permit number, the location, the approval date, and the appeal by date.
I've seen a lot of your stuff on Front Porch Forum you post, so.
Good thing.
Would it be there too, or just on the,
It's only gonna be on the website. I use Front Porch Forum for DRB. If I use Front Porch Forum for every permanent.
no, I was just curious, so you gotta actually watch for the town report on the town website to see,
Yeah, and I
Gotta
post,
watch for
yeah,
the P.
well. His driveway's up
Yeah, I
around the
know.
corner.
It has to be
Out in the country, that can be an issue. Yeah, I understand.
But if he didn't see anything after a while, he could always phone you or email you to ask,
yeah,
how are things coming?
yeah. You're always welcome to come in my office.
Okay, thank you,
Yep,
All right,
appreciate it,
thanks,
thanks
folks.
for your time.
Good night.
yep.
Okay, we're,
See you. I'm Mabel.
Bye,
Yeah, I
Mabel.
know you're
Yep.
Mabel. See you
All right.
tomorrow, perhaps.
Does Rennie?
No, he's gone. You gotta
Alright.
disconnect him.
Fine.
No, Mabel's joined the exercise group.
Oh, it said report to Zoom, you don't want that, don't report.
Don't report.
Okay, we're back in open session on Miss Randy Carpenter's permit for 2-lot subdivision permit number 25-401. I'll make a motion to approve the subdivision application subject to the following conditions. Number one, the applicant will obtain stormwater permit approval from the Agency of Natural Resources or a letter from the permitting authority, which establishes that no such permit is required. Condition number two, There shall be, no off-site transport of material, excavated material, extracted on the site. And, it shall be, such material shall be distributed on site, and not stockpiled. Number three, that, future site work shall, not result in material, excavated material, being placed or allowed to, enter the town highway right away along Main Road. Those are the three conditions.
It seems,
Any revisions to those? Do you think I've had those?
I
Okay,
think it's good. I second
all right,
that.
all right, Ted has seconded, the motion. We'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
So it's 5-0, so that the motion passes. So we've actually issued the, decision in open session. Although Mr. Carpenter wasn't there. So, we'll get a written decision out. Just so the board knows, although this. The, statute or the bylaw seems to be written, it follows the statute that says you have to issue a written decision within 45 days. The Supreme Court has ruled, for a long time, that actually announcing the decision in open session is rendering the decision. The statute used to say rendering, it got changed to written, issue a written decision. The Supreme Court has ruled that there's nothing to indicate the legislature meant to change our interpretation that as long as the board acts in open session and announces its decision within the 45 days, it's met the condition, even if the written decision, the timing condition, even if the written decision comes out later. And that's because missing the 45-day window results in deemed approval, which the Supreme Court has always recognized as, a potentially really harsh and bad result. Because things can happen on a small board. I could get hit by a bus, and nobody, and that might be, nobody knows for a while, and the written decision doesn't come out. For within 45 days, but if you've already announced the decision. You're good, even though the plain language would seem to indicate otherwise, but this Supreme Court's been very clear, so. AZ can, you can tell them in a general way what the conditions are.
Yeah.
Are gonna be, but it's only when the written decision comes out that the appeal clock starts for him as well as neighbors. The neighbors, who will get, notice of get a copy of the decision. And, the decisions always have the appellate period on there, and anyone who participated, has 30 days from the date of the decision to file an appeal, which would go to the environmental court.
So who sends that to the neighbors?
Me,
You.
certified mail too.
Okay.
Yeah, any DRB decision gets sent out certified.
Yeah, so that only an interested person, which means somebody close by who had actually participated
So Keith and Mabel.
before the board would be entitled to appeal. But
were
we
there
don't,
any others last time?
It was just Keith last time.
yeah, so those are the only, so you couldn't get a neighbor who came out, was never here and decided, I saw the permit, and
Okay,
they couldn't successfully appeal.
right.
They could certainly try.
Yeah, so
Right.
you have to actually participate before the board, and that can even just be writing a letter that says I'm in favor or I'm not in favor. Usually it's I'm not in favor, and here's why. So participation is a pretty low bar, but, we only have 2 participants here.
Has to be
And so-
something.
Okay,
Minutes real quick.
oh, yeah,
Yep.
March 25th minutes,
Do we have the right people there?
Oh,
I was here.
well, there's
Kevin,
a quorum of the people. Right.
Bill, Brenda.
Okay, no, I
And
was,
Tom.
So John
Was it
wasn't
good?
here. The 4 of us were, right? Brenda, Ted,
Yeah.
me, and, all
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
All right,
Yeah.
any changes Brenda, did your eagle eye? You're always the best on catching these things.
It's a very short,
Yeah.
This
One
is,
page.
this doesn't give her much to work on
my
here.
name, and my name got spelled right, so that's okay. What do
All
we look
right,
at
so
first?
seeing no changes from
Okay.
anyone, then I'll move that we approve the minutes of March 25, 2025.
Seconded.
Ted seconds. All those in favor?
I,
So Brenda, Ted, Rebecca, Kevin, vote in favor 4-0. Minutes are approved.
I'm abstaining.
Yeah, you're ineligible.
Yeah.
It's a-
Ineligible.
Good.
Which is better than abstaining.
It is. Abstain makes it seem like you were gutless.
It's also a real help that we have somebody who is really good at typing up minutes.
Thank you, Carol.
yeah.
Carol is really good.
I think the minutes have been very good of late.
No, it's the best we've ever had, I
Yeah.
think.
I agree.
And you can put that in the minutes.
Yeah.
Do put it in the minutes, definitely.
Yeah, feel free to blow your own horn in the minutes. All right, so I'm gonna take this.
That's it,
I
right?
think
Yeah, that's
back-
it. We can go home.
Do you want the contour map too?
Yeah.
I think back when I was chair of the board, I had, not only had to send out notices to the neighbors because nobody else would. I had to write up the minutes myself, I had to send them out.
No, it's.
I had to look up use the
Thank you, folks.
maps.
Thank you.
to